Hey crafty people, it's Tasha here for Trinity Stamps. Today I'm going to be making 2 rainbow thank you cards using the slimline hanging ornaments die. So this is a slimline sized die, cuts those circles out, and you also get these other 2 little dies to be like ornament toppers. But I wanted to show you how you can use this for so much more than just Christmas cards. I'm also using the Slimline Rainbow Brights paper pack, and I've cut a circle out of 7 of the cardstocks in that pack. So I'm just showing you here, rather than cutting the whole die from each colour, I just cut some little offcuts and taped them in place and ran that through my die machine. So here are my 7 circles. Decided I wanted to use the stripy side for all of them, and because I've cut that die from a lot, like white cardstock 5-6 times I think, I've got quite a lot of those little circles left over, so I'm just using those behind some of these rainbow ones just to give them all a different height. So I've mixed it up. Some I've only just got the one behind, others I've got quite a lot, just to give a little bit of interest and depth. So my favourite way to do this if I'm sticking like die cut inlay is to just tape a piece of printer paper to the back of my panel, and then that's not going to add any bulk or dimension that I don't want to add, and it's just an easy and quick way of doing it. So I'm just adding some glue into each of the little holes, and then I'm popping my rainbow pieces in order, and I really like that they're all sort of different heights. There's quite a lot of interest there. So this is the Simply Sentimental Thanks set, which is one of the new stamp sets, and I'm just auditioning various of those thanks words, the different large ones, to see which one I want to use for my panel. So I chose this really fun swoopy swirly kind of one, and I'm stamping it with some Wow embossing ink onto some vellum, and then I'm going to add this is also Wow disco ball embossing glitter. It's gorgeous. So I've heat set that from behind so that I don't blow all of that glitter away, and then I actually stamped it again. Because I left the stamp in my MISTI, I can do that. I stamped it again to add another layer of the embossing just to help it, give it a bit of more lift, and because it's kind of a very tone on tone look, just to help that stand out a little bit more. And then I've grabbed my scissors, because I don't have the die for this set on hand, so I've just grabbed some little scissors and I'm just going to fussy cut around that. It's not difficult to fussy cut, so that's not a problem. And I've added some tiny dots of adhesive behind the embossing so that it's not going to show through the vellum, and I'm just going to stick that straight onto my panel. I chose to stick it there because the orange one doesn't have any added dimension, so it's going to stick down nicely. I've then grabbed these sequins, and I can't remember the name, I'm sorry, but I will add it below, and I'm just choosing some places to put some sequins, just because it's calling back to the circles of that design and also the glitter in the thanks, and then that's that card done. So next I've got another of the white die cuts, and I'm adding lots of glue, being careful that I add glue around each of those circles and then also all the way around the edge, and then I'm just gluing that straight down onto some acetate, making sure that I press really well because I'm making a shake here, so you want to make sure that everything's really well adhered. So I just put that to the side and added the paper pack and stamped just a few bits that I had on my desk on top just while that dries. Next, rather than using foam tape, I decided to cut out another 3 of those die cuts from some white cardstock, and I'm just gluing those together. Again, making really sure that I've got glue going around all of those little circles so that I get because each of those are going to be separate little wells. So I've trimmed out the acetate from the top one, and then I'm adding that stack of 3 extra die cuts on top. So I've got 1 die cut, then acetate, and then 3. So that's going to give me all those little circles as little wells that I'm going to add some shaker bits to. So I'm adding some more of those, I think they're like starlight sequins, something like that, to each of those little wells, and then using just a little craft spoon that I've got, I'm adding some of these little tiny star embellishments. I love these in shaker cards. They're so beautiful. They're so thin and small, so they really shake well. I'm then adding more glue. Again, a lot of this project was glue, not gonna lie. Again, making sure I really got around each of those circles, and then I'm adding the acetate back on, and this double acetate technique is one that I got from Cassie, and it works so well. It just makes things so much easier. Trim that acetate out, and then now, because those shaker bits are all already enclosed, I can really take my time to decide where I'm going to place that on this pattern paper. So I've just marked out how big it is on there, just so that I can trim it down so I'm not wasting any paper, and then I'm going to add that to that rainbow piece. And I really love that you've got the rainbow going across there through all of the different shaker windows. It's really cute. I love it. I really love it. So I decided to be brave and stamp this sort of scripty thank you straight onto my card, but I did use a Misty, thank goodness. So I took the foam pad out of my Misty, because obviously this is now quite thick with all those layers, and I'm just going to keep stamping and pressing it down with my stamp press tool until I get a stamp that I'm happy with. So there's a couple of little bits that weren't quite brilliant, but I just grabbed a black fine liner and just touched that up, and you'd never know. So I did some more of those same sequins as well, just dotted about. And I love these cards. I think they're fun, they're different. I love this die for shakers, and I know I'm going to use it a whole bunch for that. And now I have another 2 thank you cards that we can send out to people who got us gifts this season. So I hope you liked them. Hope you liked the video. Please do give it a thumbs up if you did. And I would like to say thank you for the last 6 months. I have absolutely adored being on this team. But this is my last video as a Trinity design team member. But I will be sharing my love of Trinity still. So be sure to still tune in to catch that. I hope that you have a lovely, happy, safe and wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye.